All right, well, thanks for stopping by. Here is another answer video to a question and what would require a long piece of material to be machined. So here is a pair of marine propeller shafts. On the forward end would be a reverse gear and an engine driving the shaft, or reverse reduction gear that is, driving the shaft, and then there'd be a propeller attached to the taper end here, and the whole thing would rotate and drive the boat forward. Of course, you need a boat to be around it for all this to work. But wouldn't you know, minus the threads, this shaft here just so happens to be 17 feet. So there's a bolted coupling arrangement that goes here to attach to the reverse gear. And then the propeller is a taper with a key. So there you can see the taper, and then there's a keyway cut in it, a key driven in, and propeller slides over like so. And you have one or two nuts that draw that propeller up home onto the taper. There's these are separate components. They're an interference fit, so they're heated up and then slid on. They can be made out of generally either bronze or stainless steel. These ones are stainless steel, and they're a replaceable wear item. And on the other end, these shafts had bronze sleeves, where the packing arrangement, where there's a flax packing arrangement where you keep the seawater on the outside and you nice and warm and toasty dry on the inside. These are 316 stainless. There's a pair of carbon steel shafts over here, and these ones have been retired from service due to corrosion on the forward end of the propeller taper, among other things. And also it's got a substantial amount of corrosion on the coupling end. And there's the threads where the propeller nut would go. There's the taper where the propeller would go. Bronze liner on the Cutless bearing end. I'll show you Cutless bearing in a minute. And then we've got, because these are carbon steel, in between the two liners, there is also a wrapping of glass reinforced plastic or fiberglass or glass and epoxy, whatever you want to call it. And there's the forward bronze liner, and there's the coupling end there. All these vertical items here, by the way, are rudder stocks out of a twin screw vessel that has 2 rudders per shaft or propeller kind of arrangement. So thus 4 rudders, 4 rudder stocks. And a Cutless bearing is, here's one here. So here's a brand new one. It's brass on the outside with some sort of vulcanized rubber firmly attached. It's very difficult to get that apart, actually. They last an incredibly long time before that bond degrades. Rubber, continuous with water cooling grooves, and there'll be a arrangement to somewhat force feed water just from there's a scoop in essence that directs water on the forward end of the Cutless bearing, and the shaft with its liner rotates on the inside of that on a film of water. And provided there's no abrasive media in the water, it actually doesn't cause much wear to the rubber, nor does it cause a substantial amount of wear to the liner on the shaft. However, we're right in the lower reaches of a river here, and there's some of the vessels that ply that river can destroy a shaft liner in a year's operation, whereas these have a minimal amount of wear, and they've been in service for likely 3 or 4 years. We are going to spruce them up a little bit, and we're going to put a slightly undersized Cutless bearing in this case. So hopefully that makes some kind of sense, and then I'll try to show you a little bit more of the underside of the vessel when the moment allows. And we're just putting the final touches on straightening out another shaft here that we're putting new. There's a new bronze liner on this end ready to be turned, and there's one on this end that's already been turned. So that's to its final dimension. but we've got to just do a little bit more work on this end to straighten the shaft out. And then once the straightening is done, then we'll end for end it and we'll turn that bronze liner and it's ready to go out the door. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for the question. Take care.